Just watching the VODs at the very least to see the results of that series. But in the end, Sync Esports did defeat Reason Gaming 2-0. But again, don't let that score fool you because it was definitely entertaining. But Reason Gaming, they're currently waiting what is the losers bracket finals now. As a result of that, the winner of this series will be playing him. Well, so what we have here is, of course, Willowkeeper going up against Null Gaming in the losers bracket round 3. So looking forward to seeing how this one plays out. And again, who's going to face off against Reason Gaming tomorrow in the earlier match. With that said, joined once again by Mini Maggot here. Mini, how's it going? Are you muted? I have a feeling you're muted. Or AFK. Well, he doesn't want to talk apparently.
I'm here. I'm sorry. I was muted. I didn't realise. I thought I was right. Okay, this is the story. So I muted myself on Skype, and then I was doing something, so I muted myself on my mic, and then I unmuted myself on mic. I was like, yeah, Breaky, you can hear me. I start going for my introduction, and then you start talking. I'm like, oh crap, I had it muted on Skype as well. Anyway, yeah, I'm good, Breaky. I'm sorry to completely fail your introduction. I apologise.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. All the momentum's lost now. We might as well all go home. Just no point to cast anymore. No, but again, good to be here. Obviously, again, we're coming off a winter bracket finals matchup, and looking forward to seeing how this one plays out now. Now, Willowkeeper against Nullstone here. So let's start talking about the draft here, because definitely some interesting stuff, including you see Willowkeeper lineup, Magnus, Witchslayer, and then Clanks coming out. We saw a bit of Clanks recently. It's becoming more and more of a powerful hero here. Interested by the lineup. Andromeda now also on top of that. So, what do you like here so far?
Yeah, I mean, I'm liking the Witchslayer. We saw it from Tree again. I think it was last week actually. Roofs, he played it in the second support world, did a lot of work. I think they ended up losing that game, I still think. But in this game, I think it can work quite well as well. Obviously, I think the Clanks in the last series as well, and it allowed, obviously, Witchslayer to get that portal key, which is very important. And in this game in particular as well, it's going to have a big impact, because that Blink Hex onto Dr. Repulsor will give them ways to actually deal with him before he gets Shrunken Head, for example. So that's going to be good. One thing is I want to talk about is the interaction between Clanks and Dr. Repulsor as carry. The reason why Clank is such a great carry in general is his mobility, obviously, because it's his Hawk. When he's playing against melee carries or carries that are a little bit immobile, like the hero is so strong because you just simply can't sit on top of him. But Dr. Repulsor obviously has incredible mobility, so Dr. Repulsor can instantly sit on Clanks, and then Clanks' effectiveness is a little bit reduced because he's quite squishy as long as you can get on top of him, and Dr. Repulsor is the perfect hero to do that. So
exactly.
Yeah, I think Battlezor will have to play a good game, and not only that, but Tree as a whole or as a sort of team will have to really support Battlezor, because I think if Nullstone want to lock down Clanks, they have the ability to do so.
Yeah. So here we are again. One more pick for either side, even. So getting into it, and both teams still have a good amount of extra time left, actually. So pretty confident, clearly, in terms of where they want to go with. By the way, just reviewing the bans here real quickly. On top of that as well, we saw the initial bans are Warbeast, Swiftblade, Oogie, and Flux. For what that's worth. Then it followed up with Ophelia, Kinesis, Parasite, Deadwood, Solstice, and Valkyrie. Coming out. Very heavy jungle bands coming out there from Willowkeeper, but you do see Nullstone actually picking up Cthulhu-Fon. I assume at least is what? Oh yeah, what you got drafting right? I was like, is he actually here? But yeah, and I know they've been kind of running a 6-man roster here lately. So, but there we go with the roster. Anyways, point being, they got Cthulhu-Fon, and that'll probably be in the hands of what you got playing that jungle elephant here, very likely.
I thought Drent's left the team on Nullstone, I think.
Oh, was that what it was then? Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't look. So we know we treat all these really crazy strats. Okay, this is another one of them. I don't want to maybe spill the beans, but I'm gonna spill them anyway. Right. So they run the Suicide Bane. From what I've heard, Breaky, this is what they do. Okay. So they run this Mage Bane, right?
Yeah.
In the safe lane. Okay, I have no idea what they're going to do with the Clanks, but just listen out to me. They run Mage Bane in the safe lane, right? They give him enough farm to build Houndblight Legion, and then they put him in the Suicide lane at 8 or 9 minutes. When they do that, you simply cannot kill the Mage Bane. So Mage Bane can just man up and just do boxy YOLO things, because he's got the Houndblight Legion. Obviously, he's got level 8 or level 9, so his flash is level 4 already, and you just simply can't kill him. Whether we're going to see this in this case or not seems to be the question, because if you do that, then obviously where's Clanks going to farm in the meantime? Yeah. It is a little bit awkward. So they might not do that strat, but that's some of the crazy strats that I know Tree have been talking about. Fusion's probably going to help me for spilling all the beans, but we could probably just see Mage Bane in the off lane just from the get-go, from the start. But he's obviously going to have a hard time getting last hits, and that's where obviously Mage Bane's good. But in this game in particular, so we talked about Mage Bane Suicide before, I think, haven't we? I think we've seen it a couple of times. But like it normally fails really miserably because I think as Magebane as a hero, like you obviously want to pick up the Rune Cleaver and start being effective as a sort of split pusher and farm incredibly fast, which the hero can do because of the flash. But in a suicide lane, obviously, he doesn't have the ability to do that because he doesn't get the farm priority. But in this case, I don't think it matters that he doesn't get the farm priority because he's going against a Doctor Repulsor. Like as long as you can obviously get a lot of mana combustions off and mana rifts off, then you've done your job. It doesn't matter what kind of farm you've got. So the normal way you play Magebane is not really effective or not even needed in this game, as long as you get some big mana rifts off. So I like the draft from Tree. It's innovative and it works. So I'm looking forward to it. And then they'll finish off with a Malakan. That's most likely going to be the short lane. They're going to dual lane mid with Doctor, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yeah, and also known for running that Malakan here, so that does, again, kind of throw things off a little bit, though, already having the Doctor Repulsor, so very interesting. I mean, both teams kind of going two heroes, really, that are really hard-carry heroes, or at least have that potential, and they both end up with them, so... but yeah, I definitely see what you're saying with Magebane, too. You know, again, going to be in the hands of Boxy right here. So we'll see where it ultimately ends up. I think is safe to say now. Again, we're going to send a pause seconds off, but let's wait to get that actual information.
I'm assuming it's going to be in the offlane from the get-go, though, because although the sort of strat, like Fusion always comes up with these crazy strats. Yeah, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Like he tries them out and screams, and he's like, "Yeah, this can work." Like this is what happened with the pulling strat of with what they do with like Magmus or Geomet. Like he tried out and screams because of his playstyle. Like he literally sort of changed the meta by doing a couple of strats, and he's got loads of other different crazy strats and innovative things that he likes to do. And he's talked about this quite a lot. I've seen it out in scrims, and it's had mixed success. And I think in this game it's going to be awkward because if they do want to sort of get maybe the first 8 minutes of farm on Magebane, then where's Clank's going to go? Like, there's just no other. Like, he can't jungle from level 1. He can't really offlane. Or he can. I guess he can, but it's just no point. Do you know what I mean? So, and if all they want to do is just get a Hellblight Legion on Magebane at 8 minutes and then put him in the offlane so he can't die. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal.
Well, I will say this. I mean, going back to Magebane, Magebane is definitely more reliant on needing the items. As far as levels go, it's not really that impactful for him. I mean, sure, it's definitely, of course, good as it would be on any hero, but it's not like a very impactful. It's more priority on the items. Whereas Clinks, on the other hand, he can get levels. Sure, items obviously great as well, but at least he can start a little bit slower when it comes to that and still recover.
I think you're definitely correct in that aspect. Like, Magebane, you kind of want to have a good start, whereas Clanks, you can have like a bad start and recover in that respect. But you obviously still need the levels on Clanks as well, because obviously if you want to farm the jungle or do the sort of strats that Tree do in sort of stacking the jungle and farming it, he still needs levels, and I don't think he's going to get levels in the offlane. Although in this game he might, though, because he's most likely going to be 1v1 against Dr. Repulsor, and then Cthulhu's going to go jungle, and then Kraken... Yeah, it has to be Kraken offlane, then Malakan, Rhapsody mid, Dox, Repulsor, safe lane, and then Cthulhu in the jungle. And if that is the case, then Clanks might actually be able to get a little bit of farm, bit of levels, and then Magebane can maybe have up the free lane because Clanks is getting farm top perhaps. So that could be the thinking here of Tree, of Fusion in particular, and I think it could work because like all you really need to do, if they're going to try and follow this strategy, is get a Helmblack Legion on Magebane. That's what 1500. What was it? Or 2,200, sorry. That's a lot more than I expected. But that's like 8 minutes of farm, practically. Mm-hmm. And then you could just put Clanks down bottom when, Dr. Pole starts hitting level 6, for example, or starts hitting level 8 or more. And that's where, Clanks in the offlane cannot work. But then by that time, Magebane's already pick up the Helmblack Legion, can play in the offlane completely safe because he just simply won't die. I'd like to see that happen, but whether it will or won't is another question.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, here we go. At least out of the pause here, so we're going to start getting some information at least. All 5 of both teams actually already heading to the top lane even, so we could see some possible interactions coming out. I mean, you look at both teams and what they got. I mean, definitely some strengths on either side. Maybe a little more stun heavy here on the Legion side here. You got Andromeda, Magnus, and of course, well, I guess that's really the... Wait, what am I saying? Andromeda, Magnus, Witchslayer, that's right. I was like, I know there's a third one that brings some pretty powerful tools to the table. Yeah, this is close, man. I mean, Cthulhu actually was up there as well, but not willing to try anything too crafty here. So, looks like they're just going to fall back from one another as it all plays out here. Andromeda still has her wards on her, so it's a matter of when she wants to do it. We'll place one there in the pole camp. As you do see a ward aside placed by Nullstone Gaming, actually, on... for the top rune area. putting it in a little bit of a different spot, making sure it doesn't get countered here.
I think that this one was spotted actually. I think. But,
Yeah.
yeah. I think
Right.
Reshus was, yeah, definitely now because he walked back into the vision. Like, although he might have not seen him place it, when he walked past him, he must have clicked on him and
True.
realised they had no wards. So it's going to be really obvious that he placed it there. I like what you got did though. He didn't actually buy any regen in the lane, which allows him to actually spec the water revelation or buy water revelations to block any camps. But so that idea of maybe putting Mage Ben in the safe lane and having Clanks 1v1 for the first 6 minutes or so is out of the question.
Yeah.
But it's not not big of a build though, because Mage Ben can get as good farm as Clanks anyway. So I guess that doesn't. It's kind of a little bit redundant, that kind of strategy, because Mage Ben's going to get good farm anyway. So he's 1v1 against American, so he should be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, remake.
Apparently they're going to remake. Yeah, one of the players not too happy with the server, so I want to make sure that that's all good to go. So again, usually with Nullstone Gaming being a U.S. East or U.S. West team, of course they got they play the matches on the U.S. East as a result. So the Europeans like to make sure that they get a server that at least they're somewhat comfortable on. So gonna have to go through a remake here. And once that's done, though, we'll be good to go as far as jumping back into game number 1. So, anyways, but yeah, so we'll have to wait even a little bit longer before things take off here for our first game of this series. But once again, for those that are just tuning in, this will be the final series for today. And if you're just tuning in, you may be scratching your head a little bit. But again, the Winter Bracket Finals was played earlier today, in fact, which we did cover. Started actually at 9 a.m. Eastern, 1500 Central European Time. That was Sync versus Reason, and Sync did take that series 2-0. But again, good one there. And definitely check out the VOD once that is up. But we will be back tomorrow, of course, too, and that'll be back to normal as far as the schedule is concerned. Starting at 12 p.m. Eastern, 1800 Central European Time. Losers Bracket Finals into the Grand Finals. And as usual, should be a good finish against Sync Esports. Not only going to look to win their 7th of 8 cycles here, but on top of that, they're going to look to win 4 cycles in a row, which has never been done, actually, throughout any season. So that's kind of another streak there that, in a sense, that they're trying to break and really put them on a pretty high pedestal there. So, of course, they lost Cycle 4 of this season, which stopped the streak at 3 when they lost to BMG there. So, and actually, speaking of that, too, I've actually heard some rumors that Bad Monkey Gaming may be actually no longer. I mean, we'll see going into the playoffs. I mean, again, I don't have confirmation yet or anything, but
why would you do something?
I don't know, man.
I just don't get it. Like,
trip to Thailand's on the line. You
yeah,
figure,
it's
like,
just like it makes no sense.
But again, I don't want to get too ahead of it. That's just something, some rumors that I've heard. So we'll wait and see. The playoffs do start on Tuesday, and actually, speaking of that as well, there will be full information on the playoffs, full breakdown. We actually got a site that we're going to be releasing with all that, and I can't wait for that because it's actually going to be a really cool site and everything. So great information. That is set to come out on Monday right now. Of course, it starts on Tuesday with the playoffs. So, but expect the portal in a sense to come out on Monday with all that information. So look forward to that. But all right, as you can see, it looks like we are remade now and back in. So a little bit interesting because again, they already saw the lanes and everything. So, but clearly, Nullstone Gaming wasn't too worried about remaking here. I do wonder if we're going to see any lane swaps as a result of them seeing, but I would assume that we're not, to be honest. So.
I think so.
It'd be a little bit cheesy, almost you could say, but everyone's a winner. Look at these guys. We're all winners here. Not really. Only one team can win, damn it. How dare you try to act like we're all winners here. This is the losers round 3 after all. You guys are losers for being here. Anyways.
Yeah, so let's talk about lanes. Oh, actually, we might have an engagement. They're doing literally exactly the same thing. Like, Dodge Pulse even puts the same magnetic contraption down, but we might see an engagement, actually. I think Tree have the slightly better 1v1 level 1 team, though. I just won't see, though. So. Although that triple contraption could make a difference, though.
That's true, yeah. Placing 3 of those down right here. Wonder if you see them in melee range of one another, basically, but not gonna fall for anything. Of course, Malikan has that sword throw, so if he does get caught out, I mean, he can use it very defensively here. You don't want to overstep your boundaries, so there you go. Once again, the deja vu. Cthulhu didn't actually get a rev for it this time. He has gold for it.
No, he's got gold.
Okay.
It's what he did last time, because it's actually the right play to make as well, because if for example you buy your region and then they block your whole camp, then obviously you have no gold for rev ward. Whereas if you do this and they don't block anything, you just buy a regen straight away. But in this case, I think he's just going to buy a rev ward, and he can jungle obviously from straight away without regen from level 1. You just buy it when he gets like 40 gold, so it's just not going to make a difference for his rotations. So it's not going to slow him down. So
Yeah.
it's fine in that respect.
This courier, I love it. Anyways, all right, so now we see the lanes again really starting to shape up here. Even with the remake after the first game, I had to wait a little bit longer. But here we go. We got, it is going to be Magnus versus Doctor in the middle. You do see the bottom lane, Witch Slayer, right off the bat, boxing out Kraken quite a bit, who ends up being down here. Andromeda also in the area as well. Did they switch lanes ultimately?
Yeah, Malik and Rhapsody were mid last game, but then they switched over.
Oh,
So
okay.
in this case, actually, this is the strategy that there's a potential that maybe Mage Bane could sit bottom for the first 8 minutes and Clanks could just maybe sit top, but they didn't want to go for the YOLO play, I guess. So.
Swap it up a little bit. Mage Bane, again, he has that blink, so...
You won't kill this lane. You simply won't kill Mage Bane unless he over misplays, which like his boxing, so you can probably
Yes, I gotta say,
overextend for example.
Boxy
But
has tendency to do that if he's going for a kill.
yeah.
So.
There's just the only good thing though is that he won't really have too much of an impact in the lane, but you just simply won't kill him. But then if he doesn't have farm, Mage Bane doesn't do too much. But like I said in the draft, when you're playing against Dr. Pulse, it doesn't really matter too much if you've got farm on Mage Bane or not, kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I don't know though. Like I was wondering if. Obviously, even though Mage Bane's not going to get... Like, the off-lane is not going to get farmed, really, if we're talking logistically. So I was thinking, why don't they pick up maybe the Moira instead of the Mage Bane? Like, we saw it last, I think, like, ages ago, like, maybe a couple of cycles ago. I guess they wanted maybe a second call to maybe stand up against the Malikan plus the Dr. Pulsar. And they thought Mage Bane almost acts like a Moira, but is like a carry, kind of, in that respect.
Yeah.
Does sort of similar things against mana-intensive heroes, so...
Yeah, no, that's true. That's and they are a team that has history. In fact, I was watching the bit of the recap video that I was playing in between the break here of Cycle 7, and yeah, it was that last cycle. Willowkeeper had ran it a couple times, and yeah, so they definitely have the experience. And again, as we saw in that game 2 against Raisin this year, just referring to earlier today, with Sync Esports and San Diego playing again MVP of that game, no doubt, and really showed the true power of the hero. So. But yeah, choosing to pass it up here, going the Mage Bane around. Definitely some questions to be answered in this game of what is the potential of the Suicide Mage Bane and how well is it going to work out for them. But again, don't expect crazy farming him by any means. He is a Suicide after all against 2 heroes. So, but at the same time, again, should stay alive. You see the bottom lane, Kraken. Okay. Now there's a Rev War that was just placed by Andromeda, so he's actually singing right now.
He doesn't have charge. He doesn't have charge. He could die, actually.
Yeah, he only has a splash. Now, the Legion team doesn't have the greatest lockdown, Andromeda especially not being here, so yeah, they would need Andromeda.
Oh, yeah, they can see him without a doubt.
Yeah.
Which is like... Oh, I think he gave it away. Like, I think that was really obvious.
Yeah.
Oh.
You see Andromeda was just heading over, too.
One thing's quite big actually is that Choro Simeon actually blocked this the connecting camp, so Tree can't sort of pull through in that respect. So that's a little bit annoying. Look at this Rev Ward as well. Like it's actually so. It looks like it's in range of this of the wall.
Yeah,
that's
you
blocking
click on it, it's just out of range.
It looks like if you zoom right in, it looks like it's actually in a whole Kraken. No, it's just going to get boxed out.
A little harassment
that's
now.
he's fine. He's not going to die. No way.
Not even.
But. Yeah, that ward is quite big though, because now it obviously stops, particularly Root of Z, getting a lot of farm and gold, which is obviously, like, if you're running a defensive tri-lane against an off-lane, you have to make sure that you get farm on your second support, otherwise you've just got 2 level 1s, and you're trading for one level 1 on the off-lane, and it's just not worth it, kind of thing. So, he needs to get farm, and that's where, the pulls come from. So,
yeah.
Oh, nope. So,
Andromeda does stun on the Kraken. You do see Doctor picking up the refreshment rune though, so...
I thought if Witch Slayer rotated for that rune as well, they could have easily contested that. Maybe killed a Kraken, even the Doctor maybe, but he was a little bit out of position really.
Couldn't get there in time, and back to the middle lane they'll go. I mean, speaking of the matchup here, it's 16-1 Magnus versus a 20-4 Doctor Repulsor, so I don't think it's too surprising that Doctor has a slight edge here in that middle lane matchup. And again, both heroes also getting pretty close to that level 6 mark as well, which obviously is of importance. How's what you got doing in the jungle playing the Cthulhu Fawn here? Seems like he's doing alright, 240 gold per minute, and has that level 2 hook him now. So he's using that to assist with his farm, of course. And what you got, knowing as not only just a fun, good jungler, but very creative jungler. Again, really bringing on not only War Beast from time to time, but Lord South Forest is the more recent one. And he's been doing quite a bit, so.
And I always see that in my pubs right now. Like, I'm not sure. You can play like a team end game, and it's like Lord South Forest Woods, and it's just like, oh my god, it's so frustrating.
He's level 5, man. Compared to a level 1 Kraken.
He's going to get levels because you simply can't kill him, but he's got decent farm as well. But it's like, what's Mage Man going to do with like 180 farm, 80 GPM farm? I don't know, maybe not a lot, maybe, but it's annoying. But as long as Malakin's getting his farm, he is.
It's not like his mana rift is like, oh my god, he's level 6 now. Watch out. I mean, it can be a good tool, but
he doesn't do anything really, like until like the mid to late. So after until 30 minutes, his hero is like going to be pretty useless.
Middle lane, bloodlust kill possibly. Magnus in a lot of trouble right here. Locked down from the Staccato stun. Stuns away at the last second. It will be enough to survive. I thought for certain, I'm sure they did as well, that was going to be the bloodlust kill, but no, the lava surge just in time. That minor totem making all the difference.
Yeah, I was going to say that minor totem.
MVP minor totem. Staying alive. God, we still have several level 1s. Okay, no, Andromeda's is still level 1, the only one at this point, but still. Wow. That's unfortunate. Oh. Look at Clanks though, man, cleaning up these stacks here. You see Kraken comes over. Actually, takes a couple, but yeah, he needs to be careful. The flashbangs. One's gonna hit Hastrun though, and yeah, he's gonna be fine anyways. It gets away.
So yeah, this is obviously the strat that. Oh, actually, I think looks like Doctor wants to actually contest. Actually, they know the strat from Tree. Like, they know exactly how it works and how they play these things. So they're gonna assume Clanks is farming, which he just cleared out the stack, so a little bit late, but. They could probably kill this Witch Lad though. It's only level 4. Like the hero's not good until he gets really level 6. And Rapsy and Kraken are rotating over, but I think they know what's up.
Can't seem to find anybody there, so well, they're falling back. But you're right. I mean, these top tier teams especially should really know how Willowkeeper plays. Again, I think it was insane at that point of that out. It's just they are really repetitive in their strat and the idea of what they do. Should they do it very well? But if you do your research, you should be able to at least get timings down and whatnot. Now, as I say that, bottom lane, Cthulhu runs right into Andromeda. He wants Witchslayer, though. He's going to turn to Andromeda instead and say, you know what, you're a guaranteed kill. So he gets that, but at what cost here? Cthulhu now, he's in a lot of trouble. The TP's coming. He's going to be locked down to death, so not worth the exchange, is safe to say, as both Kraken and Rhapsody will get the hell on out of there. So, yeah, it took them a little bit too long to dive and get that kill right there. And obviously does not pay off in the end, so... Well, I guess I mean, they did get the bloodlust, to be fair. So, but Clanks helps get the counter kill. Did he get it? Yeah, he also got the kill, and now back to farming he goes. So we all know what a farmed Clanks can do as of late. So that's not good news for Nullstone Gaming here at this point. But Malakin is also getting some pretty good farm himself. 325 gold per minute now. Is looking to finish that Whispering. It might be the Sanitaries actually. Don't want to do that myself, but. Could be one of the two. We see both of them as options. Eventual, even both of them, very likely. But which one first is the question. Magnus middle lane. Oh my god. Is he going to die right here? Electric Turret. Yep, he's dead. Pasted Dr. Repulsor. A little too much damage. Chases him down, and even with the stun away from Kraken, not able to get away in the end. So Fuzzy Sloth is doing some work here on this Dr. Repulsor. And now he wants more. He's going to the top lane. Magebane, though, he has Steam Boots. And again, if you don't lock him down, inevitably he will blink away. Here we go. Staccato does no, just out of range. Dr. Pulsar from behind, though. He's going to go for the pull. No, he's not going to. Boxy playing that pretty well right there. And he will stay alive. So here comes a push, though, at the top lane. My internet bugged. Can you recall? I don't. Oh, well, there we go. Let me actually see if I can recall him. That would explain it. It seems a little quiet. Especially for Mini. Alright, well, I'm calling him back, so let's see if we can get Mini to rejoin us here or not. But anyways, back to the top lane. Beef's here? Okay.
Hello, sorry, I'm back. My internet bugged a little bit.
Oh, oh sorry, Beef. You can talk, though, if you want. Have to stay permanently quiet.
I'm sorry.
Anyways.
Don't get Virgin Media internet. It sucks.
There you go. There you go. Anyway, so, but yeah, I was just talking about how they obviously, Dr. Pulse chasing out Mag was going to kill, but then he went for top, and Magebane played it pretty well, pretty safe, and he does stay alive right there, so
You're not killing Mage Man.
That's been made pretty clear.
That's literally the almost the sort of mindset of what you pick off of. Like, he kind of sucks and everything else, but he just doesn't die. Like, if you die as offlane Mage Man, then you just might as well just kill yourself, kind of thing. It's
Well,
like that.
Well, a little extreme there. A little over the top, but yeah, it's a hero that definitely is hard to kill. So again, that's where his suicide prowess definitely comes into play. I mean, killing him is not very likely.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's just a matter of, will that really pay off?
What does he do?
Now, I mean, his farm he's managing honestly decent farm, 260 gold per minute, going up even. So he's gonna have an Energizer here in the near future at least. He got the Soul Scream ring, so.
But it's like, what is? Oh, actually. I didn't mention this actually in the draft, but obviously with Null Fireblade actually now becoming not an attack. No, sorry, his Q is not an attack modifier now. He can actually pick up Null Fireblade, and I mean I've played actually a lot of Mageman because of that. And if you're playing short lane, short lane carry Mageman, as in like you're the one position, like if all the farmers and you, then Null Fireblade and Mageman is actually pretty bad. Like, you have to go to the Rune Cleaver. However, he's not the one in this position. Like, he's actually playing the off lane. Like, Clank is really the one position. He's like the position 3 or maybe the position 2. And in that case, I've played quite a bit of it, and you can actually go Null Fireblade. You go Elder Parasite, Null Fireblade. You might need a Stronger Head, depending on the game. But it works very, very well. Your mana steal is insane. Like, absolutely insane if you go it. And I think we might actually see it here. Like, it looks like he's going to go Energizer. He might go Null Fireblade after that, and then maybe into the Elder Parasite. And I think it could actually work because you're not really like focused on farming. You're just involved in team fights and being like a utility kind of mage man. In this game, that's what it needs to be, particularly against the Doctor Repulsor.
Yeah, no, not only but even against these strength heroes that don't have the biggest mana pool but still have some costly abilities such as a Cthulhuphon or a Kraken. Getting a couple auto attacks on him, especially with that Null Fireblade, could basically make him useless in a sense. As far as using those abilities. So yeah, that's true. That would be interesting to see if Boxy does go that route. And knowing Boxy after all, it's definitely a route that he's one to be unique. So wouldn't be out of the question here.
Because I think he can work. Like, middle lane Magnus is going to be fun. Though.
He reacted. Yeah. Good job by Kraken.
Yeah, because like if you play the one position, you have to go Rune Cleaver just because that's the only way. Oh, bottom lane is porting in actually. Kraken.
Is it going to be enough though? He does have that charge, of course. It's the 2. Here comes Mage Bane though, puts in the auto attacks. And again, let's look at that mana start disappearing, and obviously Witch there with a silver bullet to then do him in the end. So good execution.
I think Mage Bane should have ulted for the kill. I think. Witchslayer always. No, I think because Witchslayer is going to be involved in killing more, like maybe setting up a kill on Doc's Pulsar, whereas Mage Bane will be mostly focused on farming. So if they want to secure the kill, I think they should have secured the kill with Mana Rift.
I don't know if that Mana
thing.
Rift would have really done enough damage, to be honest.
Well, hey, that guy, the Kraken was dead though. Like 3 flares on him. I don't think he was like that. But whatever. It's just a small thing.
Anyways, top tower push in the meantime, so sure they lose Kraken, but you see they already pushed the top first tower. They're going for the secondary. Cthulhuphon, Malakin, and Rhapsody are here. So in a sense, somewhat of a trade as they're pushing the first tower bottom, but not really the trade you're usually looking for. And I mean, I don't know if they're going to be able to defend it at this rate. Do they even have? They have TPs. Yeah, everyone definitely has a TP. Mage Bane is coming off in a couple seconds.
Ooh,
so I got to assume they're going to try for this. Magnus in the meantime in the middle lane. Release Kraken comes out. TP's coming to the middle lane actually. As that tower is not there no longer, as now Kraken, he's escaping by that top tower. It's going to end up falling. Okay, the middle tower is there. I apologize. For some reason I didn't see it. But so they TP'd into that tower instead, and they don't get any counter kills. So yeah, that was a misplay by Tree, and just great distraction really by Nullstone.
Yeah, definitely. Like, so what Nullstone did there is that they forced Tree to make a decision. Do either we try and help Krake sort of survive mid, or do we lose tier 2? They just tried to sort of save Magnus, but they didn't get any counter kills for it. So in that respect, it wasn't worth it almost. And just really good play from Nullstone, just forcing Tree to. I think they call it in. I think they call it Xanton's Gambit. So in Xanton's Gambit is whatever the pathway you choose, you get an automatic win from it. Whatever way is either they defend top and you get a kill mid, or you defend mid and you lose top. And I think it's actually in comic books actually, where like the villain has automatic win regardless of the outcome.
Well, nice. Can't say I've heard that before, but I'll trust you on that one, and it makes sense. No, that was definitely one of those cases for Nullstone Gaming It. They're going to come out on top. It's just a matter of what Tree wanted to give them in the end, and yeah, they end up giving them that top tower, which you could say probably wasn't the better of the choices, honestly. So it's sure maybe Magnus would have died, but hey, it's the exchange of a secondary tower this early on in the game. Again, you could argue that might have been for the better. But in the end, what's done is done, and Nullstone Gaming back to farming, and you see the goal lead about 1,200, so it's nothing overwhelming by any means. In fact, Clanks is still the top farm of the game. Again, not a surprise necessarily at the same time, especially with the way they play. It's clockwork for them in the sense of stacking the camps, going in here as we talked about earlier, and he's still doing that even to an extent. 15 minutes in now, 414 gold per minute, has the Nullstone finish. So that mana regen is going to be kicking in pretty well for him. Bottom lane, Kraken again in trouble. Silver Bullet, expect that to be coming out at the last second for the kill. Will it be enough? Of course it will. Rudifsy does it in. Did the math, and Cholo Simeon, not much he could do that from happening. So yeah, Witchslayer also, again, not the most impressive GPM necessarily, but going to have to keep him in mind as well. I mean, he has Steam Boots, a Power Splat, going to have a Portal Key eventually. And proved to be big. Middle lane, not going to be defended. That will be an easy tower push. So again, kind of a sense of, another case of a little bit of distraction. Sure, they get a kill out of it, but they do lose another tower when it's all said and done. So, and now they're going to try to steal these Ancients. Only single stack, but still taking some resources here. And going to prevent her Legion team from getting them in the end. So Malakin also just finished that in Sanitarius. So he has that kind of the duo of items at least, the Whispering Helm and Sanitarius. Next in line, I'm sure, will be that Shrunken Head. Or will it? I mean, I think, yeah, it's still safe to say he probably will. I was going to say, well, Clanks is a lot of magic damage, as you pointed out before as well, and it is a very stun-heavy team and everything, so I think it
makes sense why he would. Yeah, that's why not.
And clean up some Ancients in the meantime. Portal Keon can through the bump, by the way, and Kraken is getting closer to his as well. And yeah, you can't forget about Dr. Pulsar, who's not going the Icon route, so we're not going to see 50 charge Icon of the Goddesses here, but he is going the Hellflower instead. Which definitely makes sense. Abyssal Skull, by the way, in Magebane, so looks like he's going more the routine build action on your melee carry hero, really. Almost like the Swift Blade Ask who plays Suicide usually. Magnus, in the meantime, middle lane. He gets caught out. Will this be enough damage this time? It will. They've tried that a couple times before, it feels like, and it hasn't worked out. This time they do get him, and they deny the tower on top of that, so now they're going to Kongor. Is this? Yeah.
Yeah, they have a really good combo killing team as well. They've got Malakin with Whispering Helm, so they can tank that. And they've got 3 strength heroes. They can just either one of them can tank, plus the Dancer as well. And I don't think Tree can really contest it, though. They don't have Blink on Magnus or Witchslayer, and they don't have any way to really initiate the fights. And like I said, Magebane just doesn't do anything, really, until he has enough items. So, free Kongor.
Yep. Gonna gladly accept that. So it is that trade-off here for Willowkeeper, no doubt, and it is a little bit different too. Again, especially in the hands of Boxy, he's known as one of these more aggressive players on the scene, and playing a hero like Magebane, not really his style of hero, you could safely say, but it is obviously done, and got to stick with it for now. And again, his farm is actually going up and up, but it will take time as you keep referring back to. So, Nullstone really doing a good job on themselves. On their part even, of making sure to take advantage of these earlier on stages here, where he is still minimal in terms of assistance, and where he can and will be very scary eventually, but still has some time to get there. So, token on Doctor now, and I assume they're going to definitely want to use this aggressively.
Yeah, I mean, they can easily take the 2-1 tower bottom with no resistance, still no blink on Magnus. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, still no blink on Magnus, so they're fine, I think, at the moment.
Yeah. And speaking of that, how is he? 1,800 gold save, that's always good in there. Cracky, back for that Vagabond kill, yeah. He's 1 or 2 more stacks here of jungles even should do it in. Unfortunately for him, there's no more jungles left until 19 minutes, so we'll have to wait for that. So yeah, this first tower at bottom at least definitely looking pretty solid for. Look at Rhapsody though, Veiled Rot. He's scouting it out. He has a Ward of Sight on him, a couple in fact. Rusher trying to get position to place one. In fact, he might have seen Magnus there, honestly. But they're not going to go too far in. Just be happy getting the possible tower kill here and kind of work their way from there. In fact, get this Ward of Sight out aggressively eventually, I'm sure, too, from Rusher. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, and Tree just want to split, push as much as possible, try and push top, try and push mid, because I don't think they want to. They fight with when Doctor's got token, particularly not when they don't have Blink on Magnus or Witchslayer. I think when they get Blink on Magnus and Witchslayer, then they can pretty contest, because even and then I guess they're still fighting against token on Doctor. I think how long is token?
Token still has a good amount, but they're going to both get it here because this top tower, it's going to give them the money. There you go. So.
Yeah. I think they leave tier 2 as well. I don't think they want to fight against Token, like, because I don't think Nullstone can go high ground, so Tree are not really worried about that. So I mean, they're really far ahead in experience though, which I think is actually something that should not be understated.
Yeah.
Because particularly in the mid game is where I think experience probably means the most. Obviously, the early game is very important as well. But you get like the level 11s on like Witchslayer on Magnus, and they can be the difference between winning and losing team fights. So they're fine to sort of drag it out. Doctor isn't going like Shrunken Head Ball, but he pretty will after the health lab, but he hasn't got it yet. So the Blink Hex from Witchslayer is going to mean so much more. Like he's got 940 HP, but he can always solo kill him kind of thing. So plus maybe a stun from Magnus is just going to secure the kill. So just wait till Token's down and start making plays pretty much with the Witchslayer Blink and Magnus Blink from there.
I do apologize, guys. I tried to update the title of the channel earlier. For some reason, I'm getting an error when I try to. So, again, obviously, yes, the Sync versus recent matchup, that was an earlier match. So, this is, of course, Willow Keeper versus Nullstone game. I see some people bringing that up, but there we go. Looks like it should be updated now, as I say that. Anyways, back to this game here. So, 21 minutes in, yeah, more tower kills happening. And, I mean, Mage Bane, again, he's getting up there. 380 gold per minute with that Firebrand now. And so, this idea of, sure, our Hellborn team, you know, they've gotten some good time here. It seems like they've been making some pretty aggressive plays and getting some kills with that time, but you had a Clanks and a Mage Bane that are starting to get pretty scary already, even, especially this Clanks, honestly.
They're going to farm faster than Nullstone eventually as well, because
I mean, Mage Bane obviously has,
I guess they are as well. Like, with the flash from Mage Bane, you can just farm so efficiently, and obviously Clanks just kills the creep wave so quickly, so they're going to eventually start farming faster. Mage Bane really hasn't hit his sort of items where he wants to be. He's probably going to go Geos, and then I still think he needs a defensive item before he can go Nullfire Blade. I'm pretty sure he will go Nullfire Blade, but the problem with Nullfire as well is that it's like a mid-game item, and obviously you want to get it as early as possible so you get the effectiveness, but you don't want to get it too late in sense that it doesn't have an effect. Because in the late game, it's like it's okay, I guess, and maybe it's you need it in the late game against Jeremiah, but against a hero unlike Jeremiah, I mean, something else is probably going to fit its place eventually. So it's just trying to find that timing. But Nullstone, they took all the outer towers because they still want to use the token on Doctor. But Tree should definitely back off. They should know that token is down in 20 seconds if they do their timings right.
Yeah,
and they TP home. It's had a lot of damage though on the tier 3.
Now they're going to save it in the end. You see Mage Bane blinks in. That'll be the cue to start falling back. Yeah, again, the token just about wearing off, so it's safe to say Willow Keeper was pretty confident that that was probably the case anyway. So, yeah, a lot of avoiding fights here, though, in game number 1. We're still tied at 3 hero kills apiece, now 23 minutes into this game, and that continues. Again, Nullstone getting all outer towers now destroyed, whereas Willow Keeper only has the 3 so far themselves, each of the initial towers. So, but you can safely say that big engagement eventually going to happen here. And can definitely start determining where this game may move on, because it's a case of Nullstone. I think they're the ones though that are in that tight spot, because it really does seem like that. Sure, if they win this next fight, I mean, sure, that'll put them in even a better spot, and able to push off them, work well. But if they lose this next fight, that could really do them in, because it keeps going back to Tree. They're just going to farm that much quicker, just naturally with the heroes that they have, especially with a hero like Clanks. As I say that, though, honestly, Malakin, he's managing to continue to farm very well himself, 450 gold per minute. And, of course, Dr. Repulsor, he's staying up there as well, nearly 400 GPM going the Hellfire route. So, as usual, definitely execution going to play a big role here. But
yeah, but then you have to realize that actually Boxy was offlane. So, obviously, First and Beatbang both had better short lanes in that respect. Like, they had easier times getting last hits. Like, the later this goes on, Mage Bane will eventually start out farming. He's on par with Doc's Repulsor, and he had like maybe 15% of the last hits he had in the first 8 minutes probably, because obviously he was offlane.
Yeah.
Whereas Clanks, obviously, he had free farm, and even he went in the jungle, but he's still far higher GPM. So Tree will eventually start out farming Nullstone, and Tree are fine with that. They can try and take this late. They've got Mage Bane and Clanks, and although they're fighting 2 other cores from Nullstone as well, they're out farming him, so they can try and hit a timing where maybe they're 5 or 6 slotted, whereas Nullstone are only maybe 4 slotted, for example. And then that's where they try and find their timing. And in terms of complete late game, I don't know, it's close, because then you got to sort of factor in, obviously, the Kraken as well, which almost acts like a third core. So, I think if I'm foozing right here, I try and find a particular item timing where I'm maybe 2 or yeah, so one or two items above the carries from Null, and then try and force a rotation or like an objective after that. They both need. I think BKB is both, or Strong is needed on Clanks and Major in this game though, because Malakun, Rapsy, Doctor, Cthulhu and Stun. It's too risky not to get one. I think in this game.
Interesting decision here from Rhapsody, actually managing to get the Void Talisman. Of course, again, that did get to change a little bit. It's no longer just a straight-up item. I was double-checking that, honestly. I forgot what it got. This was a major totem in the pattern. 1340 gold. That's still, a good chunk of gold that he invested into that item. And whether or not it'll actually prove to be a powerful pickup for him, it's because, again, that goes back to Clanks in himself. Well, obviously, he dishes out a good amount of magic damage because of that ultimate, because of the lackey right there, what it does. So, is this really the most efficient pickup?
Yeah, it's not. Definitely not. Tablet would be a lot more useful. Yeah. Like, tablet, just even astrolabe kind of thing. Because that green triangle, as I like to call it, is going to do nothing. Like, I think what's it actually called before I stop calling it green triangle? The Void Talisman. Like, that item is so good in like 90% of games, but in the one game that it's not even good is this one, because Tree's damage is magical, like until it gets maybe 50 plus minutes. Because Clank's all magical, which even Mage Man, most of his damage comes from his Mana Combustion, his Q. So yeah, I'm not a fan of it personally. Like, he doesn't even have Steam Boots, doesn't have like tablet, like we said.
To be fair, I was actually double checking that Mana Combustion is physical damage.
Oh, it is physical damage, but
yeah, I thought it was magical as well, but yeah, no, it's.
But even that, but Mana Combustion doesn't go through Strong Head though, I don't think.
It does. I thought it does.
Really? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Maybe it doesn't.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but
maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I don't know. I trust you. I trust your judgment.
Oh, don't do that.
I should really know this, but because I play Mage Man quite a bit. Whenever I blink in, I never get the minus 48 like on the heroes I attack, or minus 64 depending on what level it is. But I don't know.
Shrunken? Okay.
I guess we'll wait and see.
In this game, we may actually be able to witness that. Yeah, obviously, already got the Shrunken on Malakin, and possibly more to come throughout. But anyways, clearing out the little bit of the Hellborn jungle here. You can see that's what Tree's doing. So making use of the resources everywhere on the map. Mage Bane leading the way with that. Again, sitting on that Firebrand, working towards this next. Obviously, the Portakeys on both Magnus and which they already talked a little bit about, and which they're also getting close to the level 11 mark, I'm sure. That means they level 2 Silver Bullet, which is that much more damage, up to 650 from the 500. So it's not as scaling as, say, the Pyromancer ultimate, but still scales fairly well there. I think it's a staff could even make it superior magic. And more damage on top of that. That'd be interesting to see eventually. Probably not, though. Kraken, he's being a little crafty down here, trying to get any kind of farm he can, maybe scout things out again. He has a Portakey, though. He's feeling pretty confident. He's not going to get caught out. But yeah, this is again, it's not too surprising that it's somewhat of a passive game. And Nullstone especially, they've been regarded, understandably so, a very passive team in the sense of they're not afraid to take it late game. Again, we don't have Quincy here with us, but I think it would be safe to say they have the most 60-plus minute games out of any team right now. And it's actually quite a bit that I can even recall myself. So,
well, they've got the heroes to do it as well, though. Like, I think in terms of late game, Nullstone will have it, because we talk about Mage Ben all the time and like how he's like a really hard carry, but in the actual late game, like if he's 6-slotted against another 6-slotted carry, like he's not even that good. Like, I say that sort of lightly because the main thing what makes him such a good carry obviously is his mobility and his flash potential, which makes him farm so much faster. When you play like Mage Ben, you kind of are expected to have that maybe one item advantage. So you're 6-slotted when you're fighting against maybe a 4 or 5-slot enemy carry. But in the late game, then you're going to be fighting 6-slotted versus another 6-slotted carry, and like you don't have a great passive outside of maybe the flash if you view that as a passive. Like the Mana Combustion is a little bit minuscule. Master of Mana is not going to be that useful against carries because they're not really that mana intensive unless you're fighting against a Doctor Pulse, which is this game I guess. And the ult is kind of good I guess, but it's again like a spell. Or like you compare it to say maybe like Dark Lady kind of thing, like that her They're not passives per se, but they're a lot more useful because they're like
they'll always be
raw
useful
damage.
no matter the farm, basically.
Exactly, yeah. Whereas like Mage Bane's is a little bit weak.
Mage Bane is, by the way, kind of interesting here, and I don't think it's too out of the ordinary, but he is leveling up stats. You mentioned Master the Mantras, and that has not put any points into that currently. And Master the Mantra is one of those interesting abilities that it's one of those. It's honestly doing more work than maybe I think people give it credit for. Kind of like counterattack with Swiftblade, but at the same time, I don't know. I guess I could see why he is choosing to go stats over.
Like, I think he's just scared of getting bursted down. Like, he's going against Hellflower from Dr. Pulse, so if he doesn't level stats, he could probably get burst down from 0 to nothing. In the team fights, it will do a lot of work.
Malikan finds Witchslayer.
Yeah.
Wow! That was a quick burst onto him. He's going to be able to port out, of course, with the Shrunken Head up, so... But, yeah, he found... Does he have a portal key? No, he just got in there with a sword throw. Popped the Shrunken Head, made him use that, but hey, he got a kill out of it. Definitely worth it there, and... Again, shows off that damage potential of what he's already at here. Using that Sanitarius as well. So, again, that's had very few kills. Only 7 in total now, 27 minutes in. This is our first one in about 10 minutes or so.
Like, in games like this, it's all about, obviously, farm effectiveness and farm efficiency, which Tree is somewhat winning. Yeah, I think Nullstone get these odd 1 or 2 pickoffs, which keeps them back in terms of gold, but... experience, they're still very far behind. But then you've got to think about, obviously, Tree, they have 3 out of towers left. So if you take the 3 towers gold in comparison for Tree are actually quite far ahead. It's just that Tree have not... this is like unclaimed gold, practically, these towers, whereas Nullstone, they've already cashed in. They cashed in early, kind of, in terms of their gold, because of that token. So, yeah, I think Tree are in an actually good position right now. I don't think Box is going to go for that Nullfire Blade now, although I think it would have been a nice idea, but maybe I was just looking too much into it. Yes.
Well, I mean, it doesn't hurt to give it to do the fun ideas, to say the possible ideas that could be a little bit different. But yeah, he is going more the routine, is safe to say, with the Energizer, Abyssal Skull, and now the Frostburn. Frostburn picked up here. So
I expected Box Level here or all players to
true.
actually carry through on this.
It would have been him or Zebe, but yeah.
What is he doing? Oh right, I was wondering. Puts this crazy ward down.
Oh yeah.
The last 20 seconds, he's been blinking through these trees just to place that ward. But it's a good ward, though. Like, it's not going to get counted.
For when they inevitably push it up there.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. So that is a nice ward, actually. Because if you put it up on this sort of high ground up here, like the normal ward spot, it just gets counted every single time. So.
Yeah, makes
it's a nice
sense
play.
there. They do have a Bound-Eyed Rhapsody, though, so it may not last too long.
But normally you won't Bound Eye there, though, I don't think.
Well, he would Bound-Eye going over there, if anything. You may see it as a result, honestly, so...
But then you're like, the tier 2 tower, tier 2 tower is the top. Like, it's up, like, there's no way they can get a ward down there.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it does stay up. We'll see if it even is useful in the end.
Congo's dying, though.
Congo is dying. That's important right now, and possibly our first big team fight could be coming out as a result. Or maybe not. Little Keeper's like, they went in, it's already low. Yeah, they cannot defend it. Dr. Pulsar gets the token. Good old Hellborn. That'll happen. Yeah, no, there's a reason why that term exists, because...
Yep. It's good strat though as well to have. Like, if you're playing, particularly the game that Nullstone is, like, they're always going to have that advantage without a doubt. And when you're playing like a late game, like, the token sort of means so much more, kind of thing. It's always consider the cooldown of the character. I think actually with the token now, they've got Shrunken Head on Doctor, they've got Shrunken Head now on Malikan as well. I think they could somewhat pressure high ground if they want to, or at least like they should at least restrict the farm or the Legion jungle without a doubt.
Back to more farm we go. Kalanxi's working towards a wing bow. Very powerful item on him. Gives him that extra range, and especially when he's in that hawk form, it's pretty ridiculous that he can stand on the outskirts and sit from 650 range as a result of that wing bow. I believe it would be 650. Yeah, 650, and dishing out crazy damage. So
he's squishy though.
He is
really squishy.
He's got a Nullstone and a Geosbane, but I think it's the most squishy.
I mentioned it in the draft though as well. Like, Doc's Pulse is like perfect hero to jump on Clanks though, because he just gets into the bank line. And although he does have Nullstone, he still has Hellflower, or maybe you can rely on maybe a tablet or maybe Kraken eventually to try and take it off, for example. Or could pick up that Codex, obviously. He wants to remember anyone else on, but they're pushing bottom in the meantime though.
Yeah, they got some split pushing coming out. Look at Magnus. Never mind. He's like, I don't want to risk this. He was a little bit too close, and he did not want to get caught out. Dr. Pulsar's like, I'm going to catch Witchslayer, though. Very quick kill on him right off the bat. That's the power of Dr. Pulsar. Is he overcommitting, though? He does have the token, but I don't know if he wanted to necessarily just use it right.
Oh,
Whoa, what a mana
God.
rip! 1387 and Cthulhu Fawn. He falls shortly after. Protecting Melody. It will save some initial damage. Will it be enough though? Mageman, can he blink out? No, he cannot. At the last second, it was not in time. And now Clanks at the front lines. He pops the Geo's Bane. He starts cutting back with the Hawk. And I think actually Nullstone may have gone a little too far. Specifically, Dr. Repulsor. And now Malkin goes down as a result. Kraken's in trouble. Magnus will get picked off. Can they get more, though? The flashbang, a little bit of dodge there from Kraken. At least doesn't get slowed as a result.
Oh,
I don't think he's getting out of here, though. They're going to chase him down. Yeah, Clanks, another flashbang. Oh, gets caught by the Great Wave. It was probably inevitably going to get chased down anyway. So he tries, but no cigar, and a double tap for Baltazar. Yeah, I think, though, Dr. Repulsor, he got a little too confident initially.
Yep.
And that backfired on them pretty quickly. So good hold there ultimately by Tree. I mean, again, Magebane did die, but I think the biggest thing, of course, is Baltazar and Clank survived. More farm for him as a result, so
Yeah, I think that Mageman pick is doing a lot of work though. Like it was like 1800 damage from that mana rift. Obviously he had token, but instantly burned it straight away. And then Dox came up without a shrunken head, so he's kind of a little bit useless, particularly if Witchslayer or Magnus can jump on top of him. So yeah, but just to clarify, he does not get mana combustion from shrunken head. I was watching him in the team fight. He's not doing any plus damage. So like I said, going back to the green triangle, it's completely pointless. So one time I actually believed you, Break. I try and then you're just wrong.
Why did you do that? I told you not to.
You did. You warned me, but
why does it say? Why doesn't it go through Shrunken Head? Then would be my question. I mean, it is physical damage after all.
I have.
I mean, Waz in chat. Just saying, Waz, if you want to explain this.
All I know is that it was not doing any damage to the Dr. Bolster Shrunken Head, or at least it wasn't showing that it was.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't giving the minus 60 full. So whether it's like a visual bug or an actual bug, I don't know.
Oh, we'll see. Anyways, but yeah, so that does kind of go back to, again, that was 1,300 plus gold that was used into an item that really just doesn't seem like was the best investment. But hey, it's one of those gates too. It's like, is it really the biggest deal? You know, maybe not, but hey, it's worth bringing up and mentioning here. Cthulhu Font Sheepstick picked up. Now it's hard to argue against that being a good pickup as always. So it's good to have here for Nullstone. More lockdown from them.
It's like they have their own little witch layer with their blink plus hex now.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
It just costs them a lot more gold to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Which there just naturally happens. But yeah, he did get picked off right away in the last fight. Obviously, again, that's where Doctor was good, but the fact that he kept going after that was a little over the top, and that's where things start to go astray for Nullstone Gaming in that bottom fight. But they're moving around here. That's an illusion Clank, so I'll realize that pretty quickly. Ends up despawning. And, you know, this being the game that it is and how it's already been playing out, and going to be Nullstone and everything, I could safely assume we're going to be waiting for another Conqueror here.
Yeah.
Which is, probably has 5 more minutes or so, I think. Actually, maybe less. Well, no,
yeah, I think
Conqueror's died twice so far this game, right?
Yeah, so it'd be bananas as well.
Okay, so yeah. About 5 minutes or so, I think.
Like, I think when Nullstone, I don't know what Nullstone did. They're like grouping up as if they're trying to take a push, but when they had token, they didn't win the team fight. So trying to take a team fight high ground without token, yeah, they're gonna back off and just farm the jungle, which is the right decision. But I mean, when they had that token though, I think like you said, Dox or Repulsor really overextended though, because in that sort of case, all you got to do, the tier 3 tower is 50% HP. You just have Dox right click the tower. And the only way they stop it is if Tree initiate, and if they initiate, then you just counter-initiate with Kraken and Cthulhu. Like, his Doctor's got token, so even if he dies, he's going to come back up and do his stuff, so a little bit hasty in that respect from Doctor.
Yeah, Malikan, again, his damage is going to start scaling higher and higher as well throughout this game. He's got a demonic breastplate in the works here. And, in fact, very close to finishing that now, so Frostwolf Skull finished by Magebane, though, I believe, actually, that's what he's trying to. He's having trouble splitting it up, though. Okay, he's built the Frostburn like 4 times now. Come on, you can do this. There we go, Boxy. You figured it out. All right, so he has a Frosted Skull now, as well as the Firebrand. And, yeah, 2,300 life. That's quite a bit. And, again, this is a suicide Magebane. And now has the farm that he has, so.
Yeah, it's impressive. Definitely. Like, we talk about how Magebane Suicide, like, it fails in the mid game because it just has no farm, but if you can recover this well, then it's impressive. And particularly in a game like this where obviously both teams are going for the same strategy, you know, go late game, out farm, and Magebane is like the perfect hero because he can farm the enemy jungle completely unaffected because it's just so hard to kill him. Like, you have to commit Doctor, Kraken, maybe even a Malikan, even like a Cthulhu. Like, you need like 3 or 4 heroes just to kill him, whilst, you know, Tree just are off farming the map as well. So it's just when you pick up a Mage Bane, normally you might need maybe 1 or 2 to sort of to kill like a hero farming your own jungle, but with Mage Bane you need that extra investment, which is just just hard to make in the late game if you're trying to be really efficient with your farm.
Flanks makes his way to the top lane. Another 2,300 gold saved up. Again, already with that wing bow. Storm Spirit just purchased by Magnus, so going to some of the defensive route there and to help with getting jumped against a hero like Dr. Pulsar, of course, very impactful, and that goes back to Clanks and Mage Bane need to be careful about the Doctor, so that'll help out in that situation. Mage Bane farming out the middle lane. You do got Doctor nearby, and actually, they may go for it. Ugh, if he stayed there maybe a couple seconds longer, that would have been something, but he manages to get some foresight, and spider sense is tingling, as I like to say, and I'm able to blink away before getting caught right there. So, in the meantime, Dr. Pulsar will clean out any bit of farm that he can right there. Oh, excuse me. That's on my throat there. But Cthulhuphon, again, still has that sheepstick with the portal key, so the very powerful duo of items there. And Mage Bane, okay, they know he's here because they can see the Master of the Mantra. That's one of the downsides of it. But they couldn't actually get him in time. And he ports out, so.
You should have turned it off, actually. You can turn it off.
True, yeah, you can toggle it.
So. Boxy misplaying. Oh my god.
What a noob.
Is this real? Is this real life?
What a noob. Anyways, though, whoa, what's this? Middle lane, Cthulhuphon. Oh, they're getting in a pretty good spot here, and a Mage Bane just blinked away. If you can find somebody else, though, maybe the Witch Slayer. But it doesn't look like that's going to be happening, going a different path, and unfortunately just going the wrong path here. And it looks like Witch Slayer and everyone else should be fine for the time being, at least. You got Rhapsody popping that bound. I mean, look at the map right now. There's no
exactly.
vision.
I was just going to say, like, that Bandai is doing a lot of work. That's why they're giving wards to Mage Bane to try and get aggressive wards. So, because normally, obviously, if you have a Bandai, your first intention, obviously, is to just sweep all the common ward spots. The ones at the river, maybe a couple near your own ancients, kind of thing. And whereas if you give the wards to Mage Bane, you put all the wards in the aggressive jungles, and you're not really going to Bandai normally your own jungle because it's uncommon for that to happen. So that's why they're forcing or putting the wards on Mage Bane to make him ward. But that's why he was in the trees that last time. Like he blinked in the tree trying to get a ward off, but then obviously they started coming over, so he just TP'd out just to be on the safe side. But yeah, they need some wards up here because like they're farming very very passively. All 5 are like helping Mage Bane farm the ancients because they have no vision. They just don't know where Nelson are. They could be anywhere at this time. So. Yeah. They're getting their farm a little bit reduced because of that.
No, look at Malakin. He actually decides to go the Savage Mace here instead of just the Demonic Breastplate. Investing a lot of chunk of gold, obviously, into this item, but definitely has a lot more physical presence now and just raw damage, really, as far as he's concerned. And, the cool thing about him, too, he's got that Zeal ability, the Hellborn Zeal, that the lower life he is, the more attack speed he does have as a result. So, not necessarily getting a Demonic Breastplate doesn't mean it's the worst option in the world, and he has plenty of attack speed because of that passive, so can be proccing quite effectively. Yeah, goes in the Savage Mace here.
Yeah. I can't actually remember the exact math, but I remember I think it's Element User did the exact math. I think if you're at 140, like if you got 140 per attack, then Rift Shard is actually more beneficial than Savage Mace because the crit is just a little bit more in terms of raw efficient DPS, and as long as you have like over 120 attacks or something like that, then Rift Shard is actually more DPS than a Savage Mace. Although obviously the reason why it's picked up is because obviously Wingbow from Clanks, but yeah. I should actually find out the exact math of that.
That's true, yeah. I kind of did forget about the Wingbow, honestly, but yeah, that makes even a lot more sense then.
Well, I mean, that's the reason why. I'm just saying, like, he'll probably pick up. He can't really pick up Rift Shards though now because now he's got it. But yeah. I mean, obviously, Savage Mace is a lot better because of that. But I mean, sometimes I see people pick up Savage Mace when there's no Wingbow carrier or no even a natural Wingbow carrier on the enemy team, and I'm like, you could be getting more DPS. I'm just like really trial and it's the little things, but it's true though. If you play carry, like you should be trying to get every little bit of efficiency you can out of your hero, and if you're getting like 3% more damage, I know it's small, but it makes a difference,
Yeah. It's actually, again, this is one of these small things as far as mechanics go that there's just so many in the game, but going back to Mage Bane, it might not really be even worth this much discussion on it, but hey, we're going to pause anyways. The Mana Combustion, so again, there's more being brought up about it. The idea, though, of Void Talisman you would miss your attacks attacking with if you were Mage Bane trying to attack the Void Talisman target. So in a sense, it is a counter to Mana Combustion still.
Yeah.
Because he would be missing the attack, so it wouldn't be going out. So there is that logic too, I guess. And yeah, just more and more being brought up.
But then the only issue is when she pops the Void Talisman, then like Major Mana Rifts the Doctor Pulse, she just gets obliterated.
Yeah, no, there's so I still think it is not the best item choice, honestly, because of just how much magic damage
maybe
they
not.
have. But
that's a big deal, though. You're right, though. I've completely overlooked that. To be fair, like
it's just
if
like
Mage Bane is attacking, no, you're right. They definitely worthwhile points. But like, 'cause if Mage Bane is like right clicking the Rhapsody, then like he's just who cares? Like, really, do you know what I mean? Like, if he's actually focusing like maybe 4 or 5 seconds on the Rhapsody, then that's a win for Nullstone without a doubt. But
now Nullstone Gaming gonna be looking to do the Congo here. In fact, already started somewhat. You got Fuzzy Sloth on Dr. Repulsor leading the way, and Cthulhu Fawn and everyone else gonna eventually. Well, maybe actually, not too sure. They're scouting it out. Is that Rift Shards?
See, Balthazar knows. Like, I think actually, I don't know if he heard me, because I remember last time he actually went Savage Mace on Balthazar. Like, no, I'm being serious. Like, last week, I remember he was playing Clanks, they had no Wingbow Carrier, and he went Savage instead of Rift Shards, and I was like, mate, just pick up Rift Shards, it's more efficient. No, yeah, it's what a player, man.
Oh boy, here we go. The Veiled Rot. We've seen this many times before with Willowkeeper, especially. Now Conger goes down, and again, this is that worst timing.
Dead.
And in fact, Andromeda is going to be exposed right there. She destroys the Bow Die just before. That was actually a really good play by Fusen right there. So doesn't give them that at least. I mean, they already have one.
I think they might have to base trade right now.
It's
Can they defend? That's fine. Like, Major doesn't have a TP. They're losing racks right now.
They had the right idea there, but they got their 5 seconds late.
Alright, Curry's coming over with a TP. Right, okay, I was going to say.
Yeah. They are in trouble,
Can they
though.
defend us full? I guess only in Andromeda, but I think they're losing this tower. They're going to... Man, that trio are really slow to set up right now. Like, yeah, they're going to lose tower before they even set up, so...
That tower, it is going to fall. It's just a matter of where the racks falls a question. I mean, Andromeda, she's going to be up pretty shortly here again. She's only level 9 at the time, and so pretty fast resurrection. That's where the goodness comes in, but... safe to say, ultimately you'd hope for her to be higher levels, especially with that swap being longer range. But anyways, is up and good to start defending now. Oh, we do have a pause here coming out again. It seems like been having a bit of these here. Apparently there's some lag here on one of the players. But Dr. Repulsor, again, he's one with the token, 4 minutes remaining. So if you're Nullstone here, you don't necessarily need to push the issue just yet. Maybe, I mean, again, all the other outer towers are destroyed, and this is the lane that has the exposed racks now. So I guess I can see why they would want to. Might as well beat at it. Might as well.
Yeah, definitely, because like Balthazar doesn't have a buyback. If he dies, they lose racks potentially in the game as well. If they can't hold off Nullstone from taking like a second racks, for example. Mage Bane, he's got good farm, but he still potentially has to get picked off. Like, he doesn't have a strong head, so they could Hellflower him plus do all the other stuff. Like, they got Sheepstick on Cthulhu as well. They can burst him down. He's only got 2.3k HP. And they've got token as well, so they can just literally just allow Dr. Pulse to just sort of just chip at the tower. Like, even if it takes like 3 minutes to sort of get the racks, they should just do it. They should wait for Tree to initiate on them. Either you wait for Magmus, such an eruption, and sort of like blow everything on the Dr. Pulse, or you sort of bait out Balthazar, sort of try and counter push the wave and get him at such a far position that you can jump on him. That is the game plan for Nullstone right now.
Yeah, you see Rift Shards, it is level 3 here, so not maxed out just yet, but still a lot of assisted damage coming as a result of that, so keeping us in suspense here of how this not final fight I shouldn't say, but how this big fight is going to turn out, because again, and especially in a game where you only have 15 hero kills, now 40 minutes in, any bit of action is definitely that much bigger and better, it feels like, but yeah, Tree really has a interesting decision to make here, as you pointed out there. I mean, the lack of buybacks that they're dealing with, the fact that they're done with a token, though, on a doctor. I mean, can they really risk trying to defend this Rax, or may they ultimately end up giving it up? Is we're going to have that answer here. So
yeah,
it's a tough spot.
For Tree, they do need to counter push, I think, with Clanks, but he has to have like really good positioning. Like, he has to sort of hit one attack and then run back, because if he gets jumped on by like Doctor plus Cthulhu, I think he will die, and then they'll lose racks. And then even maybe try and get a couple of hits from Mage Bane as well, because if you can actually drop Doctor Pulse's mana to like, quite a low percent, if the team fight happens, you just blow the mana rift on Dr. Pulsar, and then hopefully you just kill like most of Nullstone. Like even obviously Dr. Pulsar is going to resurrect with token. It doesn't matter kind of thing. You hopefully by that point have already like killed or done a lot of damage to the rest of Nullstone because of that mana rift.
Now again, do not underestimate the amount of damage that Clanks can do very quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen that many times, and I know Sync Esports fell to that against Region Gaming last cycle. Perhaps underestimating that somewhat. So at the same time, level 23 Clanks with the items that he has, he's going to be dishing out very quickly, especially with that Goon Squad out. And the Lackey procs constantly happening, so it's not really a proc, it just happens every auto attack even. So, alright, he's going to reconnect here. Wait and see if Rusher feels a little more comfortable as far as assisting. Rusher, by the way, on the Rhapsody, so we've stressed about that Void Talisman pickup and everything, but how about he's sitting on 2,300 gold as well as they're pushing into the base right here. A little curious about that. Perhaps, you know, something like the Portal Key or even the tablet could have been a worthy use of that gold. I mean, I don't think he's a hero that necessarily needs to save for buyback, especially in a push, but
Yeah, I mean,
done his done, I guess.
Yeah.
But here we go. All right. So, coming out of the pause. Oh, there you go. He buys a portal key as soon as the pause ends, and that's going to be delivered now. So, has that on the way. 3,700 gold on Doctor. I mean, you could also argue that. I mean, you do look at his inventory, though. It's pretty full for the time being, so might as well continue to farm with it. But again, there's plenty of time on this token. 330 even remaining. You look at Magnus using a Veil Rot in his base, just making sure that he's not seen. Trying to get that sneaky positioning. He does have a level 3 Eruption good to go. You look at the spread, though, from Nullstone. They're doing a pretty good job of that. Not giving any obvious opportunities. You see a jump on Doctor right there. Cthulhu Font. He doesn't really do much. Just kind of scares them off, as he tends to do. Witch Slayer the stun. They could have Silver Bolted right there to at least waste a token, honestly. But
he had Nullstone.
Oh, he did.
Well, he could
have
ER, but yeah. I don't think they would have killed him.
Yeah, Witch Slayer, if anything, is a Nullstone counter, but
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was a little surprised that he isn't even like using the mana burn just to take it off or anything. But anyways,
the range is not amazing though. Is it 700?
700,
Like that's an auto attack though. Well, 100 plus.
I feel like with how far the guy was up in his base, he honestly could have done it.
Maybe.
It's not really the end of the world either. Yeah, they wouldn't jump anyways.
I think Tree didn't really want to take that team fight. Really, I think they're happy just to lose that Rax. I think.
Yeah.
Even though they're fighting against Token, like I said, if Clanks dies, like they pretty much they could even lose the game honestly. So it's very very close in that respect. But yeah, Nullstone did the right thing though. Like I said, they just chipped at the tower, got the Rax, backed off. Like they've still got Token for 2 minutes. They can probably do that bottom if they want to. Could even try and finish off the range rack, which is kind of pointless really. But
well, there were changes made in a couple patches ago. Not big enough, sure, but. Still, it's a buff at least to the range creeps and how impactful they are, but yeah, I mean,
like, I think if you want to do something, like, you should just probably just make like range barracks armor like 0 or something. So if you're in like a real quick rush, you've got like 5 seconds to just blitz down the range racks. But other than that, you might as well.
Clanks is hitting hard again. A 640 crits constantly popping out. Is that still even a level 3? Yeah, it's even a level 3. So we're gonna see like 700 plus crits, and with how fast he attacks. Again, especially with the Goon Squad up and everything, it's just it's ridiculously intense damage that is bound to happen. But you know, let's not underestimate the Hellborn team's damage as well. You know, heroes like Malakin, who's obviously got quite the farm himself, and I assume he's going to now finish that demonic breastplate. Now, well, could go the symbol at this point too, honestly, if he feels more comfortable trying to survive a little bit better. But we'll see what direction he does go. A lot of gold being pulled up on either side. With that said, as Nullstone is once again pushing it in, that token now only about a minute remaining, so a little bit different story this time around. Frostfield play delivered in the process, by the way. So Doctor has that now to work with. As we're going to see how this top push now works out. Magnus, he's again trying to be sneaky. You can guarantee, though, yeah, in fact, they pretty much scouted out right away. And in fact, Malakin jumps in with the ulti form. Magnus, he's able to stun initially. Dr. Pulsar, though, goes to the front guard to swap out from Andromeda. However, Magnus going to stay alive. Mage Bane jumped in the midst of it. Can he at least get the mana rift off? Too much lockdown. He will fall. Meanwhile, Dr. Pulsar gets a pick on Magnus. He's still well alive and again still has a token. Clanks is putting in some good damage. And in fact, there goes Doctor. Do they have a lockdown initially? No, yes they do. Magnus spends his time, but the protected Melody saves the day right there. Dr. Repulsor, she will fall shortly after Rhapsody. The big mana rift, though, 1,400 plus damage and a guaranteed kill on Dr. Repulsor as a result, and we're not finished just yet. And now Malakin on the run for no longer because he's dead. Double tap for Boxy right there. And it looks like Willowkeeper is able to hold it. Cost them some buybacks, including the final buyback on Magnus. But now, will they be able to make a push out of this? Again, a lot of money was pulled up, though. Both Cthulhu and Malakin do have buybacks, but Doctor does not, actually. For 50 more seconds, he's going to stay dead. How much will they get out of this is the question.
Yeah, I mean, that seemed like was sick, though. Like, Rhapsody's portal key was amazing. But I think there's a little bit of misplay from Positive, but he knew, obviously, Major was the ulti, and he was still in range of it. Like, he had, like, half mana as well, so he could have easily just ultied out of danger, but he just tried to maybe man up, but Mageman just blew him up, practically, yeah. And now they lose Rax. Oh, sorry, now they lose the tower, because Doctor didn't have buyback.
Double damage, Clanks helped with that.
Yeah, I think maybe Tree should have gone Rex, honestly. At least try and maybe force out a buyback if Doctor had one.
Yeah, no, they definitely could have, but they decided to be extra safe. Not risking too much here. So as far as the top lane goes, I mean, hell, the top tower still got a good chunk of life on it. So as far as that push for Nullstone, definitely wasn't the most that they got out of it. However, Clanks might. Never mind, it's Clanks. He just flies over trees and cliffs, and he's fine. Gets away from any portal keys that were bound to happen right there. So 38 and more 100 gold saved up on Clanks, by the way. He just finished the level 4 ref shards before that, so he still has a bottle, of course. I assume we're going to see that turned into another item, perhaps something like a Savage Mace himself. Now, is somebody getting caught up here? Yes, they are. That would be Witchslayer, who gets caught. Cthulhu Font and Kraken eventually chase him down for the kill, so good find there. Mageman is doing the counter push, though. I will say Mageman obviously has great potential to be an excellent counter pusher. Now, he doesn't have a rune cleaver, though, because of his choices here and how he started off. So it does negate a little bit of his pushing presence. But at the same time, he's still going to push at this tower. And wow, Nullstone, they say, you know what, have our tower, but I don't know about this because he's already to the racks now.
Yeah, they're going to trade because Witchlayer's dead. They should trade as they should, but he's going to get racks. He's got TP back. He should go mid as well, actually, I think.
I don't know what else was. Okay. They are going to get the melee racks top, I guess. Okay, so that makes sense then. Magnus stuns in. Magebane, I assume, is going to be porting back. Protected Melody, though, saves the day once again. Magnus going to be swapped out by Andromeda, though. A Mana Rift, I believe, hasn't happened just yet. He jumps into the midst of it. He's still looking for the opportunity. He's getting low. He's trying to fall back. Can he blink away? Yes, he can. In the background, Magnus does get picked off. They got Dr. Repulsor, though. And now they want more once again, so it's almost deja vu. However, Nullstone did actually get quite a bit out of it with the racks this time. Can Malakin and Rhapsody actually escape? Rhapsody's like, just fight me. That doesn't take long, though. It's a problem. Balthazar, quick auto attack, gets the kill. Will it be enough to help Malakin get away? I don't know, man. Yeah, he can fly over the cliffs. Malakin cannot. He goes the other way, trying to juke and chive right here. Another sword throw in 3 seconds. Will it be in time? He gets it. Oh, the hex at the last second. And a quad kill? No credit. But anyways, we'll say he got it. Balthazar is a champion of New Earth as a result. We got a great finish here yet again, man, at our hands.
So mid Rax is going to be pushed in. They could probably even take top, although Malakin does have a buyback. Yeah, Malakin instantly buys back. Doctor has one as well. Just got it, actually. This could be big.
This could be absolutely huge. Clanks, he's in a lot of trouble. Nullstone taking off right there. He's trying to get away. Hawk goes off. He's going to stand his ground, put in some auto attacks, but realizing that's not going to be enough. In fact, the fear from Malakin. And Clanks is all of a sudden dead. Magebane, he's strong. He has so much life. He's trying to get a big man. He gets it off. It only hit Doctor, though. He was hoping hit others. It didn't, however, as they both got out of range. It's a very small radius, so well played by his teammates. Although he did kill Dr. Repulsor, he didn't get much more out of it. But he survives. They did pick off Witchslayer as well, of course.
That's big, though, because now, I think if Doctor was still alive, I think Nullstone would just go straight down mid and maybe try and force something. But now Nullstone are like, yeah, we probably don't want it. So that saves one buyback there, I think, from Balthazar. If they don't kill Dr. Repulsor there, then Tree is forced to buy back. But so it's just good pick up from Box. Man, that does so much damage. Literally killed him from 4 to nothing that way. It's actually crazy.
You do got, Magebane, it's very intriguing the build that he is ultimately going here. Not only the Frosted Skull, but even a Behemoth Heart on top. He's basically just being a walking ultimate against this Dr. Repulsor, is what that is.
Yeah, that's what we thought he was going to play, though, didn't we? We thought he was going to play like a utility sort of style of Mage Bane.
Yeah.
We thought he's going to pick up Null Fireblade, which would have emphasised that sort of strategy as well, kind of thing. But I can understand maybe not going for it. Like, obviously, he needs to pick up the Abyssal Skull to sort of make sure that they can keep on farming. Null Fire doesn't really help too much with that. Energizer for the stats, and it's like after that, it's like, well, yeah, I kind of want to maybe get a bit more tanky because I want to get involved in team fights. So I can understand what he's sort of doing and sort of saying. And I mean, Mage Bane, like he can easily get bursted down as well, even with 3.4k HP. And I think they can still, if they perfectly time it, they can still burst him down from full to nothing. Because they've got Hellfire, and then the stun from Doctor, Rhapsody stun, the Oi from Malakun, and Sheepstick from Confident. But so yeah, I do like the Behemoth side as well, though, because he doesn't really need to be the right-click presence, as you said, Breaky. He just needs the ultimate, and he's doing
I know
so much
that
damage.
this might be a little radical, and maybe I'm out there suggesting this, but I'm going to go along the path of saying, honestly, I'm going to go back to my point earlier about Mage Bane and not having a Rune Cleaver. I think you could say selling the Firebrand or even the Energizer, I guess, and getting a Rune Cleaver in place could be worth it, because that's what he's also doing. I mean, we saw there that last fight, too.
Right.
It'll happen just that much quicker if he has a Rune Cleaver to clear up the creeps quickly.
But then you got to think about, obviously, the only one real Rax left is top, and Rune Clear. Oh, it's just illusions. Oh no, it's not. Mage Bane going mid lane.
What's going on here? Yeah, middle lane actually engagement happening. Magnus gets pulled in, but again, Mage Bane being locked down with a Sheepstick. He's looking for that opportunity with the Mana Rift. He's not going to find it initially. He's so tanky, though. Will it be enough for the kill in the end? Now he blinks with a swap out, and the blink out. His Clanks in the background is right clicking left and right. Down go 3 all of a sudden. Again, that's just how quickly Clanks, what he can do. Witchslayer cannot find Dr. Repulsor. He barely gets away right there. But boy, oh boy, I mean, this tanky build on Mage Bane is paying off, definitely. They tried to focus him down. They couldn't, though, after Magnus, and then Clanks was like,
though.
yeah.
They were really close, so
You're dead.
That's what the heart is needed, actually. It's a really good play, and this is going to be, yeah, it's going to be Rax. Malakun has no bubble. This could be game, honestly. Nolson have to defend.
This is crazy, man. What a finish we're having right here. Clanks is going for the top. Nolson, they are going to defend. They jump Witchslayer off the bat. A very quick kill right there. No matter if just but the burst on a Kraken. Look at these auto attacks again. The Frost of Skull. Are you kidding me? Another hat trick for Baltazar. What do you do against that? It just happens so quickly and so rapid and so hard hitting. It's like you cannot do anything at this point. They can see.
They haven't been focusing, though. They haven't been focusing Baltazar that whole game. He's got 1 death out of a 51-minute game. Like, in the team fights, he was not getting focused.
It's a lot easier said than done, though.
Yeah, I guess, but I mentioned it at the start that they have Portal Key and Cthulhu. They got Dr. Repulsor, which is almost one of the biggest counters to Clanks because you can jump on him. But like, he didn't even have Shrunken Head, though. Like, I know, like we said before, it's easier said than done, but that is almost like a glass cannon build. Obviously, he's got Frostwolf and Null Stone, so he's a little bit tanky, but without Shrunken Head,